it was just a crazy play call given that I think what y'all had no timeouts, but it was still like the ball was at the 30 with like a minute and 40 seconds left.
40,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it's
So,
plenty of
I mean,
time. Like you don't need to be
yeah,
running deep
absurd play
outs.
call. Yeah.
Yeah, wild play call. So not a big fan of that. But yeah, man, I mean, so like any takeaways? Like, did the Giants I mean, what do you think? Did the Giants win this game or did the Vikings lose this game?
They for sure won the game. I mean, their offense was just like it was the perfect game plan. Like, I mean, of course the Vikings defense is terrible, so they could have done whatever they wanted, but they like executed perfectly.
What did
And
they
they
do
just
well?
toyed with us. Like just using Daniel Jones, rolling him out. I think like he had like 15 carries or whatever. And then just Saquon, like just treating him like a receiver. And then of course, like the Vikings offense, yeah, shot themselves in the foot. Dalvin Cook didn't have a good game as he hasn't had a good season, but we still fed him 15 carries.
Delvin's
And
cooked, by the way.
yeah,
Y'all got to find a
I'm
new back.
I'm very, very pessimistic about the Vikings next season.
Yeah, it's probably time for a
I
little
can't,
regression.
I cannot wait to when the NFC North futures open to take the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, that's gonna be honestly. I think we should. I don't know, like what your units looked like for our futures episode, but like we need to plus up the futures units a little bit because like I feel like we have overperformed in like that category, and I feel
Yeah.
excited about for next year.
I mean, I just hate like having them like hold my money for months, but
But when you're
I think I've
fucking
had like,
right,
yeah, I had a
it's a great
unit
feeling.
on the Vikings to win the North at like plus 225, and then I did like a quarter on the Lions at plus 1000. I'll probably do 1.5 on the Lions this time, and then maybe half on the Packers or something if you get value there. But the
I mean,
Vikings, it's if we try to run this shit back, which we have no draft capital, we have no salary cap room.
oh, you're definitely running it
The
back.
defense needs a lot of work, and we don't have receiving. TJ Hawkinson is also not that good, by the way. Like he had a crazy stat line, like 10 for 125, but he doesn't get separation either. He
I
just
mean,
all of a sudden has become like the most targeted receiver on our team.
yeah, it's just Kirk, baby. You know how he does.
He likes his boys, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's always like Thielen. He's always like that's just what he does. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, just bring Cole Beasley in next year. Get that Mongo rotation going. You'll be set.
Yeah. But at least we have, I don't know, our quarterback. But unfortunately, like he's not the quarterback that can take a team that's not that good to the next level. So I
I
don't know. We
think,
either look for the quarterback or we spend time fixing the whole rest of the team, which will take longer.
yeah. I mean, what needs a lot of repair? Like Darisaw showed a lot of promise this season. So
Oh yeah,
like,
the O line had its best year in a while, but we need more talent next to JJ. We need more speed.
I mean,
I think Delvin, we can get away out of his contract and rock with Madison. We don't need to invest more in running backs, but
yeah, you need to
we
fix the
need
defense.
size and strength on the D line. We need corners.
What happened to Daniil Hunter this year? Is he just done?
I don't know. I don't know. I think we ran a new defensive scheme, and I think a lot of people want our coordinator gone too, which might happen, but he wasn't fired yet today, so
Because
maybe
Zadarius
not the
Smith
best
started
sign.
Zadarius Smith started the season looking like he was going to be like a game wrecker all season, and then kind of faded. I don't even remember.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Like,
he's old, but Daniil Hunter came off like back-to-back years like a neck injury. So I mean, at least he finished the year healthy. Maybe rock it back next year again. But I don't think Zadarius Smith. I don't think we can afford him to. So I think we have to find a way to get out of him.
and then yeah, you got aging Eric Kendricks, you got aging Harrison Smith, you have ancient
Yeah.
Patrick Peters. Like, it's yeah, the roster on this on the defensive side is not exciting. But we'll see, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to go all in on the Lions just yet. But I also don't see who would be competitive in that division. I mean, the Bears are not going to win it. Um,
Unless Rodgers decides to run it back. Because the Packers, they were starting to figure it out at the end, right? And the problem was the receivers and another year for those receivers.
does
Like they
another
actually
year
start
for
the year
those
with
receivers
chemistry.
help? I mean,
Christian Watson's pretty good.
at the end of the day, Alan Lazard is still Alan Lazard. You
Oh,
know,
I think he said he's not coming back to here. He said I'm dipping.
really?
Yeah.
Does he just have a
I don't
bunch of offers on the table? Like, like
I don't know why.
he's like he's JJ or something. That's weird. Also speaking of which, another point to why I kind of agree with you and potentially fading the Vikings next year. Um, as we all know, Justin Jefferson, I think, is like one of the best players in the NFL. But I feel like we've reached the threshold of like how great he can be. Like I think he will continue to play at this absolutely elite level. But like we've seen leaps now where it was like first year he came out, he was like, damn, like that he's really good. The second year was even better. And then this year, I mean, he's taken another leap. I don't think you can do another one, at least not to the same degree. So like you kind of
I,
cap
I
it.
think I think talent wise, but production wise, if you get more talent around him, and I mean, just the amount of times he was triple teamed this season is insane.
The thing is, that's not going to
Like,
change. Like that's not
well,
changing.
because we didn't have any talent that like would require like Adam Thielen. He can't be our wide receiver two going in next year, and we need something better than KJ Osborne, and that can help because if you can just consistently have three guys on Justin Jefferson and like one dude just always bumping him on his like hip, like it's going to be tough for him to have those games. But if our offense can like if we have speed around him, like it's not crazy for him to average 150 yards a game.
That is crazy. Like, I agree the talent is there. I just don't think you can produce that much. Like they like, yeah. Anyways, that's another conversation. We'll talk about that in August or probably inevitably
Yeah.
before then. But NFC North is going to be very interesting next year. Honestly, I'm going to put this on the tape now. It's a little bit of a confident take. I think there's a chance that the Bears are competitive in the North next year. Maybe not in the entire NFC, but I think in the North for sure.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna make some moves to get some veterans in, like get Justin Fields some help in the receiving core. Offensive line started to play. I mean, like my theory was with this offensive line all year, like they're young dudes, like they're good. They just don't understand how to play at an offensive level yet. I mean, most guys were either rookies or like second or third years, and like we saw that with how the rushing game performed. Like we had a good rushing attack because like these guys are good. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing from like understanding schemes and understanding how to protect. So how to do pass pro, which is a complicated thing in the NFL. So I think you give them time. I love the Bears next year. We got to rebuild the defense, but like we saw Justin Fields leading one of the top offenses in the NFL with Equanimous St. Brown and Velus Jones Jr. So like you get this
Yeah.
dude some actual weapons and some more time. I think we could be like a dark horse next year in the North.
So what do you want to do with the number one pick?
This is fun. Obviously we'll talk more about draft closer to draft day.
Yeah, we're talking about the Bears in divisional round.
Yeah. We shouldn't spend too much time on this. I'll basically rattle off what I want to see quickly. I want us to trade back. We don't need the first overall because like we don't need Bryce Young or CJ. I've even started to see some shit about Will Levis being considered first overall.
I know. Yeah, people have been saying that all season. Yeah,
dude. If that, it's the most racist country on earth. Like,
know,
come
yeah.
on. Everyone's like, he has all of the innate talent. Like, what does that mean?
He has the GPA.
Yeah. He's a character to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
He has the references.
Anyways, we'll come back to that. But you trade that pick back. You go and so that gives you more draft capital. We lead the NFL in cap space next year. Though unfortunately the free agent class isn't great, but I think there's a possibility like the Bengals aren't going to be able to afford T. Higgins. I think he could be on the trade block. So I would love if we went and picked up a T. Higgins type. I think you get a T. Higgins, and then you start to build the defensive line unit, basically the front seven with draft picks. And like, there's a chance you hit on, I mean, even if we go from 1 to 4 trading with like the Colts, for example, I think they're at number 4. Like, there's a chance that Jalen Carter or Will Anderson are still on the board at 4. And like, that could be someone that we plug in and instantly the defense becomes slightly better. And then we have enough cap space that we can go and sign backers and safeties in free agency. So like, I don't know, bro. I think there's a chance we're a little scary next year. Especially if Fields keeps performing at that level. Like, it was like 3-4 weeks in a row. I mean, we were averaging like 35 points a game. Like, I've never seen anything like that in Bears history. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Just don't match up against the Detroit Lions. That's it.
Yeah, I think we sweep
cornerback guy. Sweep the Vikings?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, honestly, convince me of that.
Yeah, I could see it. I don't think y'all be able to keep up with us in terms of putting up points.
Also,
Kirk
I
just like
think this
doesn't put
season
up.
with the Vikings, it was
Yeah.
fun, but gambling has kind of ruined fandom for me. Like,
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
almost like detaching myself from the Vikings. I still have like the hate from fandom, like watching the Lions beat the Packers was just honestly more fun than the Vikings like making the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
Or like beating the Bills with that 17-point comeback early in the year. But yeah, I don't know. I'm ready to fade the Vikings. Keep it going.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's so funny how like being invested in sports betting like totally just like removes your ability to just be a fan. You know, like
Yeah.
I'll watch the Bears and if I don't have them covering, I'm like, I hope they just get fucking rocked, you know,
Yeah.
like so yeah. I feel you on that. But yeah, let's get back to the task at hand. There's still a team that needs to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
So Giants, whatever. My hot take is that I think the Giants have a chance to be competitive in this one, man. That
So
that week 17 or week 18, whatever the last week was, matchup, week 18, I suppose. I don't know, bro. Like, granted, it was backups basically for everyone, but
yeah,
I,
it's you can't take anything away from it. But the first matchup,
it was bad.
the Eagles, well, the Eagles were a 7-point favorite on the road. And now they're only a 7.5-point favorite at home.
What do you think
What's
that
cha-
means?
I don't know what's changed since then. Just people have gotten sick of the Eagles. They haven't been cashing as many tickets. I think that's it.
I don't know.
They stopped cashing tickets for bettors.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew.
Maybe.
But this is, I don't know, the guy who was, when he was healthy, the MVP candidate, front runner at that point.
This is kind of a cop out to try to predict the outcome here. I think
Oh,
I think either the Eagles blow the doors off this team. Like I'm talking like as bad as it was that first game where it was like they won by what, like 3 scores.
yeah.
Or I think the Giants could win. Like, and I would put my confidence interval at like 70% for the 75% for the first outcome that I described. It's like a 3-score win. And probably a 25%, I guess, because I have to, with the Giants winning straight up. And the reason I say that is because when you have a coach that is able to create game plans that are just so like volatile is maybe not the right word. I think that creates some sort of door that like the Giants could sneak through. And this is exactly what I was kind of talking about because I was just really high on the Giants when I told just to take the conference future. That's also when I bet Dable coach of year. Like, I just think that there's a chance. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, so I think my biggest play for this weekend is teasing the Chiefs and the Eagles. And of course, I think that's going to be the squarest teaser play of like the season. So a little scared there, but I really don't see how it loses. Like I'm pretty confident there, especially with the odds of -120. I would agree. I think like for both, I think the Eagles just to win and the Chiefs to win. I would honestly put that closer to 60-70%, but you know, it's a parlay, and it's the
Yeah.
playoffs. But I think the only way the Giants win, like you just form like a same game parlay like narrative for it. Like what is it going to be? It's going to be like the Giants and their rushing attack takes advantage of like the Eagles' only weakness on defense, their rushing defense, and it's Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, Saquon Barkley rushing yards, Daniel Jones rushing yards, Daniel Jones carries,
Daniel Jones
Giants money
anytime
line, something like
touchdown.
that.
That's one of their
Yeah,
favorite things to do. And as a Saquon Barkley fantasy manager this year, made me want to blow my brains out every fucking time I saw it. It would be like the fake handoff to Saquon Barkley, and then Daniel Jones boots it around the other side, or they like fucking pitch it to Gary Brightwell or some no name and just like let him walk in because everyone and their mother knows that if you let Saquon Barkley touch the ball within 3 yards, he's gonna score. So like, I don't know. I just feel like there's some sneaky win potential here. And I think that's reflected. I think Vegas doesn't want to make this a longer line because I think public is going to come in and hammer the Eagles. Like, I feel like that's going to be. Do you have splits up by chance? I can pull it up real quick. But like,
yes, I think it's actually been a lot of Giants action just because people are really impressed by the Vikings game.
really,
I mean, the Giants have been hot too, cashing a lot of tickets to finish the season. Yeah, the vast majority of the bets and the money right now are
Wow.
on the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's also just, you forget about the teams with the first round bye. People haven't seen a great Philly game in a long time.
Um, I'd push back on that a little bit.
It has been since the last time they played the Giants, December 11th, over a month.
That's
Since
not
then, they
that's
had
not
they
that's
won they won they haven't covered in four since then. They beat the Bears by 5. And people were pissed about that when they bet on the Eagles. They had lost the Cowboys, lost to the Saints, and then they I mean it wasn't close against the Giants game, but the box score only lost by 6. Like that matters to people, and that's why like people get hammered the Giants. You see a team that's hot and a team that's not, and you ignore the fact that the Eagles are 14-3 and beat the shit out of this team when it mattered.
yeah,
I've also started to look at like numbers like 7.5 and 3.5. Like that's bait for the dog. Um,
for
like
sure.
we'll watch this week and see. Like I doubt the Niners touch 3, and I think that's telling you something. Where Vegas is pretty damn confident in the Niners' ability to win this game. And
Why do,
and,
I was gonna say instead of doing maybe not instead of I like your teaser angle. Obviously conventional knowledge says you don't put the Niners in this teaser for multiple reasons, right? Like
yeah,
crossing the 0, whatever. Like I already made that teaser. I haven't put into action yet. But I'm gonna do a money line parlay here.
I did a money line parlay too, but I just included the Bengals too because it'll be fun to have all the teams I'm in for this week. So it's just the big favorites and the Bengals.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing and then I'll remake that and take the Bengals out of it. Not because I don't believe, but just because like
Yeah,
I just want to de-risk it a little bit because well, I mean, what are the odds if you put all that? I can do it. I have the
608.
for all 4.
Yeah.
What if you just all right? So if you just do Chiefs, Eagles, Niners, that's plus 143. So obviously not as good. I'm gonna go ahead and lock that shit in now though, because I like that. I feel fairly confident about this hitting. And I think if for some reason something starts to go sideways with any number of these, you can probably still live bet and cut and hedge. For instance, like if the Giants are starting to look like they can actually keep up, like you could probably halfway through the game still get them, say it's tied or they're down by a touchdown or whatever, like at a good number. So I think lots of opportunity to hedge. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in on this too.
Yeah. So I guess spread wise though, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the Eagles and the Chiefs games yet. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna force myself to make a play, even if it's something small, just because it's only a few games left of the season.
Yeah, it's division around, man.
What do you think about Eagles first half? I mean, they started the year great in the first half. I think like the finish seasons too is still pretty good. As a first half team, you get it under a touchdown. I mean, do you expect them to come? Do they come out rusty, or do they come out as they did week to week to like start the year, just blowing out teams?
I think I trust them to come out hot. I think if the
Yeah.
Giants have a chance here, well, how many points is it?
Let me see
4.
if they even have it up.
Yeah,
For
it's 4.
first half.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. 4, that's kind of a ugh. I mean, so you
Yeah.
push like 14-10, you push. Um, I see the Eagles most likely. I think a likely outcome here is fucking 2, 3, like for sure 2 touchdowns, maybe 3, and maybe 3 in a field goal in the first half. I mean, they've been doing
Like a
that.
first half team total.
Yeah, I would like that if that's available, but like our Section 8 book probably won't have that for a second. So I'll probably I probably won't do that.
Here. Well, most books, yeah, they show about 14.5 at plus money. DraftKings, you can get 13.5 at like minus 125 right now.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I prefer that more than the spread. Does our book even offer that like at any point in the week?
Eventually, yeah, closer to the games. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's like tucked in this game markets parlay thing. Like you could take Philly and maybe Philly. How did the Giants defense look against the Vikings?
Um, I mean, okay, the Vikings defense just it's overrated. Like talent that just hasn't really produced that well all year. But the Giants defense, I think they've gotten a little bit healthier over the year too. And like the D line that's younger, like started to produce better as the season went on. I think their best corner, what's his name?
On the Giants,
Yeah,
Adoree
I think,
Jackson.
yeah, I think he came back
Yeah,
in
I
the
think he.
Vikings game and did a good job on Justin Jefferson. Of course, he had the help of 2, 3 guys. So
Yeah,
you're not going to get that type of help when you're on AJ Brown, but at least it should be a slightly better matchup than the first time they played. But still, it's still not a great defense.
yeah. And what concerns me too is like the line, like what kind of wrecked the game for the Vikings from what I saw was just how much pressure they were getting. And like the Eagles line is substantially better. Like does the Eagles line, I
Yep,
know it's been banged up though.
Lane Johnson's back. Yeah, they're going to be at full strength.
Then at that point, like I'm that kind of neutralizes probably the biggest strength for that defense. So I think I'd start to look at some totals. Like right now, you can take Philly to win the first half and Philly to go over their points, their team total at 28.5, which is a lot of points. But like I did just say I do feel confident about them putting up potentially 24 points in the first half. So like if I feel like that's even in the range of outcomes, then like this is probably not a bad parlay. It's only at plus 118, which is not my favorite, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
but I agree. I think I'm going to try to whatever. I don't know. By the next time we talk, I think we'll be able to see first half odds and
yeah. Well, that's basically all the games. One we haven't really talked about at all is Bengals and Ravens. That was a huge game for you in terms of being on the right side. I middled the game perfectly too. I ended up taking it was my best CLV game of the year. I took 6.5 when that was available.
yeah.
Uh, actually, I took 6 when it was first available. At last week, it first opened at 5.5 on our book, and I almost got in then, but
Mhm.
I waited, took it at the 6, -6 for Cincinnati. It moved all the way to 9.5 and 10 for I think a second. When you texted me and were like, we should get in on this, I did that. So I middled it perfectly, which was great. But then, you had a better day. You had more risk to it, and it paid off nicely. So, did you watch the game?
I missed a lot of it, but I watched parts on my phone and then I saw the end. But of course, I saw on my phone live the Huntley stupid attempt to sneak and the run back. I think I think I had like I don't know like the third like most like expected points added in a single play in like playoff history.
That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, 12 point swing. But dude, I mean the Ravens they out back to back weeks where they outgained the Bengals by like over 100 yards.
So, what was going on there? I mean, was it just we kind of spoke about this earlier, but like, was it just the pressure on Burrow?
Yeah, Burrow was under a shit ton of pressure. Their offense really struggled and just really couldn't get anything going until like the second half, taking shots against like the Ravens secondary. But I mean, he's used to this. He stays like composed like through situations like this, and the Bengals defense was able to take advantage of Huntley stupid mistake. But outside of that, like the Ravens, they had the game plan they needed to win that game, and I don't know, they probably should have won that game, but it's all right. Um, it also sounds like Lamar Jackson is gone, right?
Yeah, that's
I
what
think
it seems
Harbaugh,
like.
like post game, he was like, shout out to Huntley playing through all these injuries. Like, it's nice to have a tough quarterback that you can rely on, play for the team.
Yeah, and maybe J.K. Dobbins too. Did you hear what he said? Where it was like,
No,
uh, let me get the exact quote up. I don't want to fuck it up because it's a gold one. Um,
but I'm willing to trade Kirk for Lamar. I don't know.
yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that.
Kirk
Uh,
and Daniil Hunter. Kirk, Adam Thielen, and Daniil Hunter.
Toss in T.J. Hawkinson. They probably be interested.
And Mark Andrews. It'll be like a fantasy trade for us.
Yeah. J.K. Dobbins said Huntley should have never been in that situation. I didn't get a single carry. He never should have been in
He
that
should not have been
situation.
in that situation. Yeah.
He said, "I believe I would have put it in the end zone
Yeah.
again." Um, yeah. So I don't know, man. It seems like trouble in paradise out there in Baltimore. So yeah, I bet L Jack is gone. I mean, but like the Ravens have all the leverage in the situation, right? Like they could just slap him with the tag and
Yeah.
say sit out if you want to.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. Does he pull like a Jalen Ramsey or play through it? But I mean, he was actually hurt. I don't get it. Like they said, like, I don't know, like the PCL sprain he had is like essentially just like a tear too. Like he has like his bone is basically loose, and it takes a lot of time to heal. And I think they said like now was like the short end of the injury timeline too. Um,
Yeah, they said his knee was destabilized and swelling. Like
yeah,
probably not good to have him in there.
yeah,
um,
and like
especially
of
when he
course, dude, if he has a long term deal, yeah, it's more likely he would play. But you
right.
guys fucked up too.
Yeah, y'all didn't pay him. It's
Yeah,
pretty simple mathematics. Like you have to understand where like the incentives come in. Like
yeah,
this dude's about to basically hit the market. Like why would I put myself in a position to further damage my knee for a team that like yeah, whatever. Um but where am I going with this? I guess where we're trying to talk through is like the Bengals, does it matter like that game or is that just like a division foe that knows how to play them as a dog?
yeah. I think it's the latter. I mean, of course, it shows like the Bengals aren't like just like this wagon. No team in the NFL is, and I think that's what we talked about all year. Like the best teams are all like kind of vulnerable. And Baltimore was like sneaky, just like a really good team too, and people kind of forgot about that. But you know, quarterback names matter, and a backup quarterback first playoff start, like there's just value there.
Yeah.
But I think the Bengals should be fine. I think honestly, I think it's underrated that like this Bills matchup just isn't as tough as the Ravens.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's been, I mean, our recap. Like, do you have anything else to add before we get into our actual preview?
No, yeah, that's it. I got a lot of plays already on action. So I'm
Yeah.
ready.
I'm
We
not
just
as
have the
stocked.
games tomorrow.
I'm not as stocked up as you are, but I think as I haven't had time to fully dive into the numbers and the stats and get a feel for these matchups. And I feel like a little discombobulated now that I missed a week. You know, like I feel like I probably need to like go back and actually like review things a little bit more heavily after not watching any snaps.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, we'll see. I like if you were to say what's your favorite play now, what is your favorite play now?
I
For me, it's easy.
think it's the Niners first half.
Niners first half. Interesting.
Yeah, -2.5.
Why first half?
Just because you could get the better number and understanding that if they're not covering that, most likely I can get full game for underneath, like better than the 3.5. But I like the 3.5 too.
I love the three
But
and a half.
yeah,
I've
but
been
I think
ready.
they should start hot too.
Yeah, I've been ready to fade the. Well, okay, so why didn't they start hot against the Seahawks?
Um, I mean, they did. It was just they had some struggles on third down, and the Seahawks offense did a decent job. It was really like the problem was more so the Niners defense, and I mean it wasn't a problem, but the Niners defense was what lacked in that first in the game against Seattle versus the offense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll get in. We'll do some more analysis. We'll be back here in a couple of days, talk through it all. But yeah, I'd say early preliminary, just peek at the board. I like the Niners. Um, nice. Let's not talk about maybe necessarily the basketball games that are happening right now. um, but we
I
can.
actually have one for you. So do you see Alabama's playing Vanderbilt right now? I think they're up by 10 in the first half, and I have Vandy +8. But I'm thinking about live betting Vanderbilt. Do you see the story with like the Alabama kid who,
Shot someone.
yeah, is like
Yeah.
facing like capital murder?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he played on Saturday, and this happened on Sunday, and today
God
is
damn.
Tuesday. And they're at Vanderbilt, a team that has covered 4 straight against like Nate Oates' Bama team, including like 2 wins. And yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of looking to like fade like Bama too. I mean, they've been super hot this year, like kind of crazy against the spread cover rate. And kind of looking to do it here. I mean, right now hasn't been the best start, and I'm not watching the game. But I'll look at halftime and see if I can get a good line. I mean, Bet Online, they have a lot of cool outs for basketball actually, so you can get like Vandy plus 12.5 at plus 100 right now or something.
Oh, live? Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. I might hop in on that. You said it's halftime of that game?
It's almost halftime. Down 10, 35, 25. It was close there. Bama just started to pull away now.
Damn, not a lot of scoring. That's all right. Yeah, I might get on that with that. In on that with you. What I was gonna say, and we don't have to do this right now, but I have a couple more futures, NBA futures takes that I'm feeling good about.
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice. So, oh, you actually can't even see it because the games
game's
are,
going on.
yeah. Well, I like damn. I think last time I checked, Tatum was like plus 500, plus 600 as an MVP. I feel like that's a great time to buy Tatum. I have no Tatum exposure, so I'm hoping to get some in there. I like that. I like last time I looked, it was like Cavs like plus 150 roughly. Give or take some points there. To win the Central. I really like that. I'm a little concerned about the health of the Bucks, and they just have not been playing super well. And this Cavs team is just a team that's set up to win a bunch of regular season games, like they already have, and like I don't see much changing, barring an injury, but like you can't really cap for that.
Are the Bucks still in first place right now though?
They are, but I think by like a game and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the tough bet there is that like you're gonna expect at least like Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday eventually gonna start playing consistently. Giannis that like right now, like this isn't gonna last long stretch. So eventually all three are gonna be back. We've seen how they look and all three are back, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like when though? Do you know what I mean? Like Middleton just got
Not this year, yeah. But like when are they gonna come back? Wait, what happened with Middleton?
Yeah, I mean, Middleton just got okay, so now they're not even a game and a half back, they're only half a game back. And they're plus, like I just said, they were like plus, well, I looked this afternoon, I think it was like plus 150, plus 160. Middleton just got relegated, like he's in the G League because his knee has like just not been cooperating or whatever, injury, wrist or some shit. Giannis has now been missing some time because he's been playing so many minutes. I guess my kind of theory here is that the Cavs are just built to, like I said, win a bunch of regular season games, and the Bucks used to be, but this year they're a little banged up. I don't really like their rotation pieces as much as I have in the past. And that Serge Ibaka trade that they did at I think preseason last year, I feel like really fucked their team. Like Ibaka doesn't play any minutes, let alone meaningful minutes. And they gave up a lot of wing depth and Dante DiVincenzo, who's giving them good perimeter defense. So I like the Cavs to win this one. And at that plus number, I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, maybe I'll sprinkle there. I mean, I haven't really jumped in on really any NBA futures except some long shots. And I do feel stupid about my Phoenix Suns bets, but hopefully I'll turn around eventually. I guess like now only a couple months left in the regular season, so I'm okay with them holding my money for this amount of time, especially when I don't have thousands of dollars to wager on football every week.
I had a couple. I remember you kind of laughed at this one, but I loved the Kings win total over.
I did laugh at that.
I think that almost hit. That was like a 4-unit play for me.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm in on the Kings, bro. And that's actually my last one that I want to recommend is Kings to win the division. I don't know what the odds are. Shout out title of the podcast. But they don't have that one up either. They only have the Atlantic division up right now, which is weird. But the Kings are gonna win the division. I'm gonna say it now. Like the Warriors are a team where we've seen this pattern historically. One of the big four, if you will, gets hurt and they struggle. The Lakers are out of the running to win this division. The Clippers, I still have lots of questions on. They might turn
Are
it
the
around.
Lakers out of the are the Lakers really out of the question?
I think so. I mean,
I
they're
mean, since
not.
the start of
They're
the
not.
season, like they've got themselves back into play-in territory, right? They're definitely playing better basketball than they were to start, right?
Yeah. I mean, they still have a negative point differential. They're still kind of just a bad team. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of that was like, I mean, they started like 0-7, right?
yeah, but I mean, bro, we're 44 some games in. Like that's been factored into this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
they're still sitting at the bottom of this division. I just don't see them leaping 5 games at any point. Like, because the Clippers will take some W's off of them.
yeah,
The
but
Warriors, once they're back at
it,
full strength, will take some dubs off them. So,
I mean, will they though?
well,
Like at
this
this
is
point of the year,
exactly
the
my
Warriors
point.
aren't.
Like if you look at the Kings against the Clippers, the Warriors, the Suns, the Lakers, I think the Kings are the best team right now in this division, and you can get them at plus odds to win the division, which makes no sense to me. They're leading it right now.
Yeah, I mean, who's the favorite? The Clippers?
I honestly I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah, I looked
It
at
has
it.
to be the Clippers, right?
I can probably just pull it up, not on Bet Online. Yeah, it's probably the Clips. Let's see here. NBA. Oh yeah, they have futures. Nice. Let's go. That's what the Pacific Division.
Sorry, it's
It's
dinner for
still
Central Time.
uh
Some more bad podcasting.
yeah, you know, it's all good. It's the Warriors are the favorite to win it still.
That's ridiculous.
If you like the Lakers, they're plus 2,000.
Honestly, I might sprinkle.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I like to place winning bets.
AD will be back sooner than later.
Does that matter?
It does,
He'll get hurt again in 2 weeks.
maybe. But I mean, what's promising that like they were so bad. LeBron was not playing well to start the year, right? Like the on-off stats were like defensively not good for him. But without AD, he's turned it on. I don't know how he's playing like this, but he's doing it. And if
But
AD can look like what he was a month ago, um,
I
yeah,
don't know, bro. I think you need to
5 games isn't terrible.
you need to put some respect on the Kings name, man. Like they have the second, so according to Dunks and Threes, which you know is like an offensive efficiency rating or just an efficiency rating site.
Yeah,
One that I actually really like. I think if you can like click through, like they rate 4 factors, lots of different like EPM metrics for players and shit. They have the Kings right now as the second most efficient offense in the NBA. Like I'm looking at the rest of the teams here, and I honestly can't tell you if any other team has any other advanced metric that's even close to this. Like the Suns are 13th on offense, 13th on defense, so very middle of the road. The Warriors are 21st on offense, 16th on defense. Lakers are 17th on offense, 21st on defense. And the Clippers are 30th on offense and 5th on defense. So the only team that's doing anything exceptional are the Clippers, who are the favorite, who I don't want because they're not even leading it.
yeah. I mean,
Or the Kings, who have one of the best offenses in the NBA right now. And
don't wouldn't you want to look at it this way and saying like the Kings in the first half of the year have been the second best offense in the league net rating wise? That's probably a regression spot, and the opposite for the Clippers defense, something like that. Because
the
I
thing
mean,
is,
do you really think the Kings are like for the rest of the season they're going to perform that way, or are they going to move down closer to 10th?
the scary thing
I
is,
get it. I get it. They're, like they're
might.
good, but
They might. They might.
they're good, Chris. But like the top offenses in the league, like
I mean,
like the
who do you think, according to this site, has the top offenses in the league? Like, just out of
is it the
curiosity.
Celtics or is it
Yeah.
Brooklyn?
So, like, name that you were right. So we know 1 and 2. Like, take just a shot in the dark at 3 through 5.
Denver.
That's 3.
We got Brooklyn in there.
They're 5.
Who's 4? New Orleans.
It's not a team you'll expect. So I can just tell it to you. It's Utah. So like
Okay.
we have a major regression spot there for sure. But then
And we're already seeing it with Utah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, don't you think we're gonna start to see it with the Kings too? I mean, just a little bit. I mean, we've seen like in the past too, like they've had like decent starts to the year or decent finishes to the year, but full seasons. Um,
I
like
mean, we haven't
I
seen
know that
this
I don't
good.
think the Warriors are that good, dude, but like they got to be better than this, right? And the
I
same
don't
thing,
know,
like
bro.
The Clippers are a better team than this.
All right. All I'm saying is I think there's great value on the team that has the second best offense in the NBA that's currently leading the division, and you can get them at plus 200 to win the fucking division. So yeah, I think there's some value there. I might, who knows, maybe I'll take my winnings from my Kings ticket and just roll it right into a
Yeah,
Kings division.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm a little spicy on this one because I just feel like this team's not getting any respect. Like they're being talked
I
about the same
know.
way that people are
So
talking
so
about the
what were
Jazz, but like it's not the fucking Jazz. Like the Jazz get lucky when they'll shoot 43s a game and make 30 of them.
what were the Kings preseason division odds?
Like plus 1200, I think. I think I actually have a sprinkle on it, but I think it's on my fucking FanDuel account, so I'm just not counting it.
Yeah, so I mean, wouldn't you say that at this point the value is probably gone too? Like
No,
if we're
because
being
we're
like
halfway through the season and they're leading the division.
I know. I
And
think
we
Vegas is
already
telling us
talked about
something
the
though.
what's that?
I think they're telling us something.
No,
There's a
they're
reason
not.
why they're not favored.
The reason they're not favored is because people are scared shitless about the Clippers, and they're probably taking so much money on the Clippers right now that like they don't want to have more favorable numbers on the Clippers. I bet they're taking no money on the Kings. Like I wish we could see the splits, but like
I know. So
people
there's some
like
places
people
where we
don't want
can see that.
people don't want to bet on the Clippers or on the Kings. Like people would love to bet on the Clippers. They go, oh, Kawhi, Paul George, like that team is gonna like whatever. Like, and I'm like, what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that this isn't a team. I'm not. This is not a bet where it's like this team has to win a fucking 7-game series. Like they just need to like keep doing what they've been doing, which is playing well at home and stealing some on the road against their division rivals who are fucking banged up and old. And like that was my theory the entire year. I was like, this team is going to come in, they're going to be playing their starters fucking 30 to 40 minutes a game. And they have some good pieces like Malik Monk, Kevin Herter, Davion Mitchell have all been great rotation pieces for them. And Sabonis is playing like one of the best players like at his position in the NBA. And De'Aaron Fox is just doing De'Aaron Fox shit. So like, I don't know, man. I think we need to put some respect on the King's name, and you can make some money in doing so.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I feel like it's pretty likely that they finish the season like outside of for sure the top five, like net rating, offensive net rating. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they're closer to 10. Like that's just like what we always see, right?
But the thing is, like,
Um,
let who else is gonna contend in this division? Like the Lakers, like I don't know. We haven't seen that from them. Like the Clippers. Uh, I mean, what if Paul George decides to take or Kawhi takes a month off, like before the playoffs? That's not out of the picture.
I mean,
Um,
maybe, but probably not, right? This is when they start to play. Like this is when the season starts for a lot of teams.
I don't think so,
This
man.
is when the season started for LeBron James.
We've seen a lot of teams close to the playoffs once seeding starts to get a little bit more finalized. There's a chance like we don't see Kawhi and PG play together for the last 2-3 weeks of the season.
No, I disagree. I think they're trying to bring this team like they want to play their best basketball like towards the playoffs. Like that's why these guys are getting so much time off. Um, like, and I think like a lot of these teams too, like they know like how long these seasons are. Like it just December basketball doesn't matter as much as the next few months are going to be. And that's why I think like teams like the Kings, like it will get tougher for them.
I agree. I think we should
I mean,
also
I think
do some
like
strength
it's
of
almost
schedule analysis. And then I think we
yeah.
also like what you need to do here is like you need to really think. I agree. Like you said, you want to start playing your best basketball towards the end of the season. 100%. That's the quality. I'm talking about the quantity of the basketball. Like they can say, all right, Kawhi PG, we have 3 games in the next 7 days. You're going to play all 3 of them as a tune up so that you're ready when we start to get closer to the playoffs. But like, then they might take another week off. Like, what I'm saying is, like, the volume is in the Kings' favor because they're going to play their starters hard minutes every single fucking game.
Yeah, I think that's a fair argument for the Clippers. I don't know if they're going to do stretches like that. But I think it's just going to be like a little bit here and there. But like you have to imagine like um, Like they're going to play way more games in the second half of the season than they did in the first half of the season.
But like we don't know that for certain. And all I know for certain is
Unless it's like they actually injured, right? But I don't know. I mean, injuries can happen to any team.
yeah, yeah. Which is why you should take the team that's leading the division at plus 200 odds.
That's true.
All right, let's leave it there. Those are my kind of favorite futures. I like the Kings to win the division. I like the Cavs to win the division. I think I have futures on both of those. I already took Cavs at plus 450 preseason, so like I should probably just ride. But I'm gonna get greedy, sprinkle a little bit more, and then I think Tatum actually let's see what Tatum's odds are. Our Celtics aren't playing tonight, so I'm not gonna take a huge. Yeah, you can get Tatum at plus 550 at some books right now, which I feel like there are great odds there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Unless
those
you're
are picks.
huge on Luca or
Yeah, I already bought into Nikola and Luca a little while ago when I got them at much better numbers. I mean, dude, Nikola is down to plus 175 right now.
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's the shortest that any player has been the entire season, I believe, for MVP. So it's happening. And I think I locked it in at let's see. I want to say I locked it in at like 1,000 plus 1,000. I got Nikola Jokic at plus 550 about 3 weeks ago. So I'm feeling good there.
Damn. I mean, I guess don't you think the narrative part of that is going to be really hard too? Like a third time MVP, like
Definitely.
I guess like yeah, unless
Which is
Denver
why
does finish as like the one seed like by far, and like the Celtics aren't as strong as they were at the beginning of the year. But yeah,
when
the stats match up for it, or at least he's producing. Oh shit, there's a Brooke Lopez and Pascal Siakam squaring up right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Yeah, it's time for me to talk to my good old friend MJ and watch some basketball. Start to get ready for bed. I'm on that West Coast time right now, so trying to like fall asleep at an even somewhat respectable time when you have a career is just miserable right now. It's like my body thinks it's like not even dinner time right now. It's 9:30, so got to get those circadian rhythms back in the groove.
Yeah, or you just don't, and you get ready for playoff basketball.
That's true because, dude,
Those
that's
10
one of the
p.m. tip-offs are.
oh brutal, fucking terrible. Yeah, just stay on West Coast time as I live in the East Coast for the next 4 months because I'm ready for playoff basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. See if your boss is cool with that.
Be like, hey, I know we have this meeting at 9, but I was up till 2 watching Steph. Can we move? Can we move this? So, all right, y'all. That'll do it for the odds are. We'll be back. Look out for an episode on Friday with our final picks for upcoming wildcard weekend. And yeah, stick with us because like we'll be adjusting the schedule a little bit as we figure out what it needs to look like as we enter peak basketball betting season. Because
yeah,
as an NFL door closes and NBA one opens, as they say in the degenerate.
And we got to keep making money, right?
You have to. I mean, this is what's keeping my lights on right now. So
yep.
all right, y'all. That'll do it. We'll see you in a couple days.